increase blood calcium. I mentioned that we've got parathyroid hormone and calcitonin. They are working to either increase or decrease the calcium. Which one is parathyroid doing? Increasing or decreasing the blood calcium? Increasing my blood calcium. So parathyroid hormone is working to increase blood calcium levels. So there's a detection. Notice they don't really point to anything for that. There is a detection of a decrease in blood calcium because that's coming from the region of the brain that I keep mentioning that's primitive, okay? But you'll get to that in part 2. So, we get information, not enough calcium, parathyroid gland releases its hormone, which is the parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone, this is what it does. It stimulates osteoclast. It stimulates the cells that break down the bone. Because if you break down the bone, those osteoclasts are allowing calcium to enter the bloodstream. If calcium enters the bloodstream, therefore I've now increased my calcium level and hopefully raised the blood calcium. Now, what else do you notice about increasing the calcium levels in the blood? It's not just bone involved, but what else do you see? My vitamin D. But that has to work in conjunction with what? The calcium absorption from my diet. So, if I take in the nutrient, if I get my vitamin D production, it can therefore promote calcium uptake in the blood. Does that make sense? So if I have raised my blood calcium levels, then I don't need any more of this. These are not getting stimulated. That's not getting done because my calcium's okay. But what if I have too much?
So if you're getting enough like vitamin D in your daily intake, like your diet, would the parathyroid hormone still cause stimulation of osteoclast because it's okay?
No. If you're getting a proper diet, chances are very little of the parathyroid hormone has to be used. Alright? So as long as you're getting the calcium, getting vitamin D, getting the sunshine, properly functioning kidneys, usually that helps maintain the blood calcium level. Well, let's say that we do this, we get the calcium levels up, the calcium levels are now, the brain's going, whoa, maybe we got too much. Or maybe you took in too much in your diet. Alright? The body says, whoa. Okay, we don't need to do this anymore because my blood levels are now increased. Well, this is where we get the calcitonin. So if calcitonin is the hormone of use, calcitonin is going to inhibit the clast. That means the clast stops. They stop breaking down the bone. We're going to promote the calcium deposition, depositing into the bone, and we do that with the blast. So these two hormones, based on the fact that we need to make sure calcium levels are kept at a norm and that we don't have this huge swing in their levels going too high or too low, what do you think about how much these processes are occurring? All the time. This is going to be a feedback system where this is going round and round and round all the time. Now, wait a minute. What if I wasn't getting the calcium in my diet? What is that going to eventually do to my bone? It's going to affect it. It's going to break it down, make it weaker.
So, like you said, I used to lifestyle for health thanks ago. As you get older, your bones break down, the glass stop creating bones. So the calcium stop being produced and keeps like the parathyroid.
Well, what happens as we get older? These other tissues that are going to be involved, our diet that we have, the tissues, the digestive systems all function as well. Because these activities of these other cells, the body's just not taking it in like they used to. It's more of a breakdown of the tissues of the body that are needed to sustain the feedback system. And a lot of that begins to break down as you get older. You see, not only is that breaking down the compact bones, it's also affecting the spongy bones. And it's like this double effect. And that's why it's easier for the bones to break, harder for them to heal. Like if you've ever known someone who, I don't know, might be in their 80s and broke a bone. Okay, have y'all ever known someone? How long did it take for healing to occur? A long time. Really nice lady that I'm very close to. She just turned 85. She broke the hip twice within a year's time. We are now 3 years later, and I don't know what the shot is, but it's some kind of shot. She can only get it once a year. And it's one of those medicines that's supposed to help the bone build up, like the Fosamax and stuff like that. That's not what it is. I can't remember the name of the shot right now off the top of my head. And she's had that done, and she's still not healed. So, you know, it's like the older we get, because so many other things kind of break it down, the process just gets definitely less efficient. Oh, speaking of which, bone fracture. So, when we look at bone fractures, or when you're going to encounter bone fractures, they have a term that's associated with them, and it kind of lets you know what type of break occurred. For example, an open wound is called compound. Why do you think it's called compound rather than simple, like the closed wound?
Like it's several different tissues, not just one.
It is several different tissues. You have not only broken the bone, you have perforated the muscle, you have perforated the skin, you have perforated the connective tissues. It's a problem that is now compounded. Each thing adds another level of difficulty to the healing. When it's closed, doesn't break through, we say it's simple. Now, depending upon what the break in the bone looks like on the x-ray, you may hear terms such as incomplete. The break doesn't go all the way across the bone. It's only part way across. Some of it could be that you might hear the term green stick. That's letting you know that it's usually going to be on the convex side in a curved bone. Okay? They may say hairline. They may say comminuted. Okay? Depending upon what bone got broken, where it got broken, and how it got broken are going to be the terms you see in the patient's report. Fractures could be impacted. They might be based on what is the direction. It could be linear, it could be transverse, it could be spiral, it could be oblique, it could be dentate, looking like the edges of T. It could be stellate, looking like a star, radiating out. Basically, what does the X-ray show? That's the biggest thing about the breaks. These are some pictures showing a linear break. It's not the bone going boom and breaking like we would normally think about. Complete goes all the way from one side to the other. Incomplete, one side gets broken, the other one doesn't. Ouch. Very painful, it looks like. You know, that's the one probably some surgery is going to be needed. Transverse, going straight across. Oblique would be at an angle. Spiral would twist around the bone. Impacted, one bone is pushed up into another one. There's a lot of different ways to break bones. I don't think any of them would be a lot of fun. All right? But you guys remember the epiphyseal plate. We tend to think of the epiphyseal plate when we look at it here because it's so well demarcated. Okay? You can see the marking very well. But we have epiphyseal plates in the long bones of the body because they have to grow in length. This is actually showing a break in the epiphyseal plate. Now, I'm not a radiologist, okay? So how they can tell that, I don't know. But if the epiphyseal plate is still present and this type of break occurred, this means it's a child, okay? Which that could still mean they're 15 years old. Chances are, probably not. But chances are they could be 12 or 13, okay? And it becomes very important to get that set correctly because you don't want one bone longer than another. It's kind of interesting about the breaks. So what's going to happen as we get older? As we get older, the bone matrix is going to decrease. One of the fibers that decreases in production as we get older is collagen. Collagen is a major fiber in many parts of the body. Bone, a huge one, all right? We also produce less hydroxyapatite, the calcium phosphate. Bone mass decreases. That's why after a certain age, it's a good idea to get the bone density test and that sort of thing so that you have an idea of the status of your bone at a certain age. Your bone mass is usually high around the age of 30. Men have denser bones because they have more, note my terminology, not that they have testosterone production, they have more testosterone production. African Americans, Hispanics have higher bone masses than Caucasians and Asians. The rate of bone loss, look at this, increases 10-fold after menopause. The sooner you begin to take care of your bones, the younger you are, the better it's going to be at that time of your life. Does this bone